Welcome to Live DAF, your online DAF Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's DAF Hayemi, GITTEN Samach Gimel. We are on Samach Beis Amud Beis, 4 lines from the bottom of the Amud. Itmar we have learned. Now before we begin, so in yesterday's DAF, we have learned that there are 2 types of shluchim, of messengers, pertaining to the delivery of a get. We have the shliach l'hoilacha, who's given a mission to deliver the get to the isha. So the husband appoints that type of shliach. Please do me a favor, take this get, bring it to my wife. So the get only gets activated when it's placed in his wife's hands. On the other hand, the isha, the wife, has the ability to make a shliach l'kabbalah. So she can turn to somebody and ask him to please represent her in accepting the get from the husband. Shliach l'kabbalah. Please receive it from him. So this shliach represents the isha. He's an extension of the isha, so to speak. And as soon as the get is placed in his hands, she's divorced. Now a husband has no ability to make that type of shliach. He cannot appoint a shliach l'kabbalah to represent his wife. He can't do that. He can only appoint a shliach l'hoilacha, represent me in delivering my get to my wife. That he can do. And that shliach is sort of an extension of the husband. And when he actually goes and places the get into the hands of the isha, she becomes megureshes. Now it would appear from this Gemara, and some Rishonim learn like that the isha can appoint both types. Shliach l'kabbalah, to represent her, in which case as soon as that shliach receives it, she's divorced. Or she can also appoint a shliach to deliver the get to her, in which case it's only activated once it arrives and reaches her hands. Knowing this, let's continue the Gemara. Itmar we have learned. Haveli giti. An isha, a wife, turns to a shliach. Do me a favor. My husband has a get for me. Please bring it to me. I'm not appointing you a shliach l'kabbalah, in which case as soon as you get it, it's mine. No. Bring it over to me. Be a delivery man. And as soon as I'll get it from you, I will be divorced. So she's appointing him a shliach l'hoilacha. Deliver it. Problem is, when the shliach meets the husband, he misrepresents himself. He tells the husband that his wife had appointed him a shliach l'kabbalah, a totally different type of shliach. So she asked him to be a shliach l'hoilacha, and he purported to be a shliach l'kabbalah. In which case, as soon as he takes possession of the get, she'll be divorced. But it's not so. He wasn't assigned that mission. She asked him merely to deliver the get to her. And what does the husband do? He responds like this. V'hu amar. And the husband responds to the shliach, look, heilach k'ma she'amra. Take the get and whatever she says works. I'm doing whatever she said. So what's the halacha? Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rabba Baravua, Amar Rav. We have a chiddush from Rav Nachman who quotes Rav. It doesn't work. Afilu higia get liyada ina megureshes. Even if the get actually is delivered by this shliach and arrives into her hands, it doesn't work. Why? Explains the Gemara. Shema mina. It would appear like that we can conclude from this halacha, we can derive from this halacha pertaining to a general question that we have in the Gemara Bava Metzia, Perikas Seicher Se'omnim. Suppose there is a discrepancy between the words of the shaliach, the way he's representing himself, and the words of the mishaleach, of the one who appointed him and assigned him that mission. Very similar to our case. So, somebody appointed a shliach to do a specific task. He assigned him a very specific mission, and the shliach, misrepresented himself. Presented himself differently than the mission assigned to him. And now he approaches a third party who's meant to carry out, fulfill the, cooperate with the mission. And the fellow says, look, I hear you're, presenting yourself a certain way, okay, I'll cooperate. Whatever the Mishaleach said, I'm okay with. So there's a whole shaila in the Gemara whether he meant to sidestep the shliach. I'm only trusting the Mishaleach. I'm not, I hear what you say, but I'm not taking any chances today. I'm letting you know that I'm only cooperating based on the words of the Mishaleach. Or shall we say, no, he's trusting him. I'm assuming, the way you're presenting yourself, that's the way it's meant to be. That's the way the Mishaleach assigned you as well. There's a big shaila in the Gemara. And from our halacha, it would seem, Shema mino adibura dideka samech. Here we also have a discrepancy. She asked for a shliach lahilacha. The shliach himself misrepresented himself. He considered himself a shliach lekabbalah. Husband responded, well, I'm going along with whatever she said. Heilach kamasha amra. And what does Rav Nachman tell us? In the name of Rav, nothing doing. A non-starter. He doesn't even become a shliach lahilacha, which is what she asked for. So even if he delivers the get, it's worthless. Apparently because the husband, although he said, I'm going along with whatever the wife said, but he didn't really mean, he meant, I'm assuming this is what she said. What you said is what she said. Now what did you say? What did the shliach say? I want to be a shliach lekabbalah. In which case, it totally doesn't work. Because who can appoint a shliach lekabbalah? Only the isha. Did she know? Because if we shall say that when a husband responds in this manner, I'm going along with whatever she says, he's relying on her words. And what did she ask for? She appointed him as a shliach lekabbalah. Deliver it to me. So the husband is really going along with that. He's consenting. He's allowing this fellow to be a shliach lehoilacha. Right? The husband is allowed to appoint a shliach lehoilacha. So mati gita liyada. So at least when the get finally gets to her, mati gita liyada mia. At least tigarsh. At least at that point, the get should be activated and she should get divorced. The isha wanted a shliach lehoilacha. And assuming that the man is going along with her instructions, he also meant as such. So at least we should consider this fellow shliach lehoilacha, in which case he has the ability to deliver it to her, and once it gets to her, it works. So it would seem from this Gemara that when you use this type of, when you respond this way, well, whatever she says, what you meant to say is, I trust you that your version is the correct version. You're representing her with integrity. And since, in this case, he's asking to be a shliach lekabbalah, and the husband is going along with that, but he can't be a shliach lekabbalah because wife did not appoint him a shliach lekabbalah. That's why it doesn't work. Amar Rav Ashi Hachi Hashta, you can't compare our story with this misrepresented get to the question, the general question discussed in the Gemara B'Metzia. Big difference. You see, what is it? Which job, which task, which mission is easier? Shliach lekabbalah, which basically means he just goes and receives the get and it's a done deal. He doesn't have to deliver it to the Isha because he's representing the Isha. Or a shliach lahilacha, which requires him to take the get and go travel and deliver it all the way to the Isha, which is easier. Of course, shliach lekabbalah is easier. So perhaps the reason why Rav Nachman disqualifies this shlichus is because this shliach who twisted the facts. He was asked to be a shliach lahilacha, a more difficult type of task. He approaches the husband and pretends to be a shliach lekabbalah. Just give it to me and done deal. He's indicating that he's not interested in that more difficult task. He's rejecting that mission. So of course it doesn't work. Of course you cannot consider him a shliach lahilacha, which allows him to deliver it to the wife. He's not interested in that type of task. He clearly indicated as such. He was asked to be so and he refused. He turned her down. He pretended to be a shliach lekabbalah, which is an easy job. So of course it doesn't work. It's a totally different type of case than that general question of a shliach who misrepresented the facts, and the fellow responded, "Okay, I'm relying on you." That's a whole different story. Here it's clear that the shliach is uninterested in taking on this mission. That's Rav Ashi's response to our conclusion. If we would have switched around the case, for instance, the shliach was assigned a lighter job, to be a shliach lekabbalah, and he decided he wants to be a shliach lahilacha, makes it more difficult for himself. Then we're talking. Then we can consider all the factors and considerations. But in this case, it's totally different. He rejected that appointment. Certainly, if we would have switched around the facts, if the case would have been reversed, she asked the shliach, "Please be my shliach lekabbalah." A relatively easy task. Just go receive the get and it's done. No traveling, no delivering. And the shliach approaches the husband and misrepresents. I was asked to deliver the get to the Isha, shliach lahilacha, which is actually a more difficult task. And in response to that, the husband says, he says, "Heilach k'ma amra," do as per her wishes. If that would have been the case, and the halacha would have been v'amar Rav Nachman amar Rabba bar Ravo amar Rav, and Rav would have told us that in this case, kivan sheyigia get liyada migureshes, that as soon as he takes possession of that get, it's a gerushin. Apparently because the husband was relying on the Isha's instructions, and she asked for a shliach lekabbalah. And as such, we say, as soon as he receives it, the get is chal, the get becomes activated. Inami, or if Rav Nachman, in the name of Rav, would have told us, liyada, that in this case, when she asked for a shliach lekabbalah, and he presented himself as a shliach lahilacha, and the husband responded in kind, just whatever it is, and then Rav would say that as soon as the get arrives into the Isha's hands, it's a get. We can conclude from this, adibura dideka samach, that the husband, when he says heilach k'ma amra, he's really trusting the shliach's account, and the shliach presented himself as a shliach lahilach, and therefore you have to wait until it actually reaches his wife, because the husband was cooperating with the shliach's version of events. So, if, in theory, the case would have been reversed, she appointed him to an easier job, and the shliach made it more difficult upon himself. And the husband responded with this phrase, Heilach k'ma amra. If that would have been the case, then based on Rav Nachman's conclusion, we can conclude which way to go. Is the husband trusting the shliach, or is he trusting the Isha? Okay, that would make sense. So you can have a conclusion based on this halacha. regarding that general question, where if a shliach misrepresents his mission, and the other fellow sort of responds like parv, like, I'm not sure what's going on, but whatever the mishaleach says, I'm doing. Right? So the general question there, and how do we treat it? Is he really trusting the shliach, or is he not taking chances and going along with the mishaleach? So you can have a conclusion based on this halacha. But that's not our case. Elohacha, in our case, the shliach was rejecting his mission, rejecting his shlichus. She asked him to deliver the get. Pretty difficult task. And he shook it off. He goes to the husband, as a shliach l'kabal, just give it to me and it's done. Mishum da'akre l'shliach l'shlichusi l'gamrihu. The reason why it doesn't work in this case at all is because the shliach is disinterested in doing anything more than just a couple of seconds. He doesn't want to be involved. Doesn't want to bother delivering the get. Look, the Amar, look what the shliach said. The Amar shliach l'kabala avina. Shliach says, I'm a shliach l'kabala. I'm not interested in delivering the get and being a shliach lahilacha. So that's the reason why it doesn't work. But it's unrelated to that general question discussed in Bava Metzia. Okay. So bottom line, according to this interpretation, which is Rav Ashi's pshat in Rav Nachman, in a case where the Isha asked the shliach to deliver the get, a more difficult task, he approaches the husband and misrepresents himself, pretends to be a shliach l'kabbalah, which requires, minimal effort. Just give me the get and it's done. In this case, he's not a shliach at all. Well, a shliach l'kabbalah he can't be, because his wife did not appoint him to that. Nor is he a shliach lahilacha, because apparently he's disinterested in being a shliach lahilacha. Amar Rav Huna bar Chia Toshma, but we're going to have a kash on this. Because basically what Nachman is telling us is that even if the shliach decided to bring the get to the Isha, which indicates that he had a change of heart, he's okay with that, journey and that extra effort. And the husband was certainly okay with that. We don't accept it. Because at the initial moment, when he approached the husband, he indicated unwillingness to be a shliach lahilacha. We're going to have a kash on that. Amar Rav Huna bar Chia Toshma, ha'imar iskabel get li ishti. So this is our Mishnah. Husband approaches a shliach and asks him, his kabel, please be makabel, receive the get on behalf of my wife. Now we all know that a husband cannot appoint a shliach l'kabbalah. His kabel gets li ishti. Or he said, oy hoylach gets li ishti, please deliver it to my wife, that's fine. That's your standard lashon for shliach lahilacha. What does the Mishnah say? In both cases, it's a shliach lahilacha. Even in the first case, ratza lachser yachser. If the husband wants to change his mind before the get is delivered to the wife, that's okay, because it's a shliach lahilacha. So he has some time to play with. Time of the ratza, it's only because he decided to change his mind. Halei ratza, have a get, but if he did not change his mind, and the get was delivered, in both cases it works. V'amai, why? Haba lav bar shav yishliach l'kabbalahu. In the first case, his kabel gets al ishti, receive it from my wife. Husband has no ability to appoint a shliach l'kabbalah. How does it work? Why is he considered a shliach lahilacha? El amrin. Oh, apparently because we say, kiva shenasa ev l'garsha. Since husband is apparently interested in divorcing his wife, Meimar Amar, he's figuring, tigarish kalecha de magarsha. Let it work, whichever way it needs to work. Basically, just make it work. Even though he used that lashon, which isn't necessarily accurate, his skabel, he should have said haylech. He should have said bring it. That's what he meant to say. Right? He knows he can't make a shliach l'kabbalah, so he meant whatever method works. Hachanami, same in our case with Rav Nachman. Even though the shliach apparently was disinterested in being a shliach lahilacha, you saw he was pretending to be a shliach l'kabbalah. He didn't want to be a shliach lahilacha, but ultimately he took the get, delivered it to the wife. So everybody's apparently okay being a shliach lahilacha. Hachanami kivish nasan ein of legash. Here as well, if the husband is apparently pursuing gerushin, meimar amar tigarish kalecha de megash. Here as well, husband is okay with him becoming a shliach lahilacha. Shliach apparently is okay. So even though initially he was unwilling, but once he took the get, and you see he's making that trip and delivering it to the wife, apparently he had a change of heart. He's accepting that mission. And certainly husband is okay with him accepting that mission as well. So why shouldn't it work? Basically, we see from the mission that we make it work. So why is Rav Nachman's case different? Hachi ashta, big difference, says the Gemara. Asam adam yodea she'en shlichus lekabbalah. In our Mishnah's case, every husband knows that he can't appoint a shliach lekabbalah. That's the wife's business. It's not his domain. So although he used the lashon, which indicates shliach lekabbalah, he said his skabel. He didn't mean it literally. He appointed him as a shliach lahilacha. So his lashon was inaccurate. So what? That's really what he meant. Hacha toy. But in our case, it was a big mistake. Because remember, the shliach purported to be a shliach lekabbalah. And that's how the husband gave the get to him, with that in mind. He didn't realize that he's going to be a shliach lahilacha. Now it doesn't work. And Rashi adds, well, we have that other aspect as well. Mentioned before that the shliach was rejecting the notion that he's a shliach lahilacha. He didn't want that. He didn't want that job. So just because he accepted the get and decided, it doesn't mean anything. He's not really a shliach lahilacha. It doesn't work. Amar Rav Tashma, another kasha on Rav Nachman. My Bryce, where once again we see that we make it work, even though the lashon is perhaps less than accurate. Tashma ktana she'amra hiskabaligiti. You have a ktana, underage isha, who cannot appoint emissaries and messengers and shluchim, and she appoints a person. Hiskabaligiti, accept my get for me, receive it for me. Eina get, ache liyada. He does not become a shliach lakabbalah. She has no ability to appoint shluchim. Rather, when the get is handed to the fellow by the husband, he's turned into shliach lahilacha, appointed by the husband, and the get is only chal when it gets to the isha. Says the Gemara, okay, let's analyze this halacha. Kimata git liyada miya migasha. But apparently once the get arrives to the isha, it works. Because this fellow is serving as a shliach lahilacha of the husband. V'amai, why? V'halav shliach lahilacha shavye. Why does it work? The husband never made him a shliach lahilacha. Quite the contrary. He was coming to represent the isha. Ella amrinan kiven shenasav enav legarsha. Same point. Kiven shenasav enav legarsha. We see the husband is pursuing the gerushin. He's interested in divorcing her. Meimar, he's thinking to himself, whatever it takes. Tigarish kalecha de megarsha. Here as well, says the Gemara, in Rav Nachman's case, even though the shliach misrepresented the fact, here as well, husband is willing to cooperate, whatever it takes. So why doesn't it work? The same teretz as before, you can't compare. One knows that a katan can't make a shliach. So husband knows that he has to appoint him as his own shliach. So although he's coming as a representative of diktana, but husband knows good and well it's not a valid shliach lekabbalah. Rather, I'm giving it to him as a shliach lahilacha, my shliach, to deliver to the isha. L'shem halacha didei. Hachatoi, as opposed to our case, where, as we explained, there's a big mistake and confusion, and therefore it doesn't work. Tashma, here comes another raya, akasha on Rav Nachman. We're going to show from another brisa that although there are misrepresentations and inaccuracies, but we still make it work. Tashma. Have legiti. Okay, it's a bit complicated. We've got to go slow. Have legiti. Isha turns to a shliach. Have legiti means shliach lekabbalah. Sorry, means shliach lahilach. Deliver the get to me. Havi legiti, be my shliach lehoilach. V'ishtecha amra, he's legiti. Shliach approaches the husband. Ami shliach lekabbalah. So she appointed him shliach lehoilacha. He pretends to be a shliach lekabbalah. Or the other way around, his legiti. She appointed him shliach lekabbalah. When he approaches the husband, he says, I'm a shliach lehoilacha. V'ishtecha amra, havi legiti. How did husband respond? One of two ways. Either he's responding in a shliach lehilacha response or a shliach lekabbalah response. Vu amar, and he said either one of these two expressions. Either hoilech v'tein, okay, you're a shliach, please deliver this to my wife. This is a shliach lehilacha type of term, hoilech v'tein. Or he used a more shliach lekabbalah type of phrase. And we have two examples of that. Zechila, either he said, be zeiche for her, that's a shliach lekabbalah type of expression, or he said, be iskabbalah, or accept it for her. So either he expressed himself in a shliach lehilacha form, deliver it, or a shliach lekabbalah form, receive it on her behalf. What's the halacha? He becomes a shliach lehilacha. Rotza lachzer, husband wants to change his mind prior to delivery. Yachzer, he can change his mind. But once she receives the get from the shliach lehilacha, it's over, she's divorced. So again, let's just recap the cases. She appointed a shliach lehilacha. The shliach misrepresented it. He considered himself a shliach lekabbalah. Or the other way around. She appointed a shliach lekabbalah. He purported to be a shliach lehilacha. And husband responded in one of two ways. Either he acknowledged shliach lehilacha or he acknowledged shliach lekabbalah. Halacha is, he becomes a shliach lehilacha. It's not a get until it's delivered. Let's analyze the halacha. My love, let's assume. Shall we not assume kabbalah akabbalah, v'halacha halacha? That the phrases sort of matched. In that case where the shliach presented himself as a shliach lekabbalah, the husband's response to that was likewise. Here, accept it, receive it from my wife. In the other case where the shliach presented himself as a shliach lehilacha, the husband responded likewise. Go, deliver it to my wife. That's a kasha on Rav Nachman. Why? Because if the shliach presented himself as a shliach lekabbalah, and husband responded likewise, here, receive it from my wife. The Brisa says, he's a shliach lehilacha, not a shliach lekabbalah, shliach lehilacha. Because only the wife has the ability to appoint a shliach lekabbalah, which she didn't in this case. So he's treated like a shliach lehilacha. How? Why? The husband gave it to him as a shliach lekabbalah. He said, here, accept it on my wife's behalf. So he's dealing with him as though he was a shliach lekabbalah. Right? He was fooled into thinking the shliach lekabbalah. And he wasn't. So it's null and void. It shouldn't work. Why do we modify it? Why do we consider the shliach lehilacha? Apparently because we make it work. Although I thought you were a Kabbalah and I responded in kind, but if in fact you aren't, and the only way to make it work is to consider you a shliach lehilacha, I'm game. I'm okay with that. That's a kasha on Rav Nachman, who says it doesn't work. Says the Gemara, no. Look, Kabbalah ahilacha, actually it crisscrossed, it zigzagged. The husband's Kabbalah response was in response to the shliach who presented as a shliach lehilacha. V'hilacha, in the other case where the husband responds in a shliach lehilacha form, a Kabbalah. It was in response to the case where the shliach presented himself as a shliach lekabbalah. Okay? So, now we understand why it works. Because if the shliach presented himself as a shliach lehilacha, what was he really? Shliach lekabbalah. Right? What happened was wife appointed him as Kabbalah. He represented himself as hilacha. Husband says, you know what? Receive it for her. Be a shliach lekabbalah. So actually he was right on. his words matched his wife's words. She appointed him Kabbalah, and he responded as Kabbalah. And that's why it works. There was no discrepancy in reality. In reality, he was really Shlich Kabbalah. And that's why it works. Asks the Gemara, if that's how you were learning the Brisa, that the wife appointed him Kabbalah, Shliach masqueraded as a Shliach Lohilacha, eliciting the husband's response in a Kabbalah phrase. Kabbalah was Ahilacha, in response to the Shliach purporting to be a Shliach Ahilacha. In that case, husband sort of confirmed the fact that it's Shliach Kabbalah, which in fact he really was, as appointed by the wife. So he's in reality a Shliach Kabbalah. As soon as he takes hold of that get, it's a done deal. He's representing the Isha in reality. He's really a Shliach Kabbalah. So what does the Brisa say? It's not a get until it reaches the Isha, which is more Shliach Halacha type of format. Why are we following the Shliach Halacha rules if he's really a Shliach Kabbalah? Says the Gemara, okay, so then Shamas Mina, it would appear from this halacha that Dibura Dideka Samach. Let's go back to that old question. Let's put aside, GITTEN for a moment. Let's go back to the theoretical question. We have a Mishaleach appointing a Shliach. Shaliach asked for one thing, Shliach twisted it around, and he went over to that third party, misrepresenting himself. And third party says, look, you know what, I don't want to get myself in hot water, I'm just following the instructions of the Mishaleach. Whatever he says, I'm cooperating with that. So the Gemara was unsure what he really meant. Did he mean to bypass the Shliach, or did he mean to trust the Shliach? It would appear that we have a conclusion from this halacha. Shamas minod adibor dideka samach, husband is relying on the words of the Shliach, because she asked for a Shliach LeKabbalah. Shliach presented himself as Hoylach. And what is the halacha? We treat him as a Shliach LeHoylach. Says the Gemara, no connection. How could you compare the two stories? Hasam ka'amrle, in our theoretical question, what does the third party say to the Shliach? Heilach kamasha amra. Here, take it, and it should be as per the Mishalech's instructions. So there we had a question of his intent. Did he mean to trust the Shliach or mistrust the Shliach? That's an interesting question, because he said Heilach kamasha amra. Here, I'm going along with what the Mishalech said, what the Isha said. That's not what happened in this case. Here, he clearly indicated what he wants to do. In this case, where Shliach said, I'm a Shliach Lohilacha, and husband responded, here, receive it. I'm making you a Shliach LeKabbalah. Take it on her behalf. He didn't say, you know what, I'm going along with whatever she said. He didn't use that expression at all. So it's unconnected to that question that we have above Metzia. Rather, he re-specified. He said, accept it on her behalf. And since the husband knows that he can't make a Shliach LeKabbalah. So what he really meant was, take it as a Shliach LeHoylach. And therefore the Brisa says, we treat him as such. He can take the get and deliver it to the wife. And it's only a get once it arrives into her possession. Okay, so bottom line is like this. Let's start from scratch. Rav Nachman tells us that when the Isha asked him to be a Shliach Lehoylacha, which requires more effort, bring the get over to me, and he misrepresented that. He pretended to be a Shliach LeKabbalah, which takes very little effort. All you need to do is to receive it and it's done. That's an expression of rejection, unwillingness to cooperate. In which case, Rav Nachman says, in the name of Rav, he's not even going to be a shliach, even if he decides to bring the get to the isha, because he abandoned the mission. That's a pretty clear-cut halacha. The Gemara had a few kashas, because we see that in some instances we twist, we sort of, make it work. Like in the case of the Mishnah, Ha'imer, his gabal gets el ishta. He knows that. How could he make a shliach l'Kabbalah? We make it work. It becomes a shliach l'Ilach. The Gemara says, yeah, because over there he knows. He's aware of the fact that a husband can't appoint a shliach l'Kabbalah. So it turns into shliach l'Ilach. Same thing about Iktana. He knows he can't appoint shluchim. His intent was that the shliach should be his shliach l'Ilach. As opposed to the case of Rav Nachman, where it doesn't work. Then we had another question, a general question. When a Mishalech asked for one thing, the Shliach twisted it around in a way that perhaps doesn't make it easier for him, but he just misrepresented the facts. And when he approached the third party, the fellow was careful. He says, look, I don't know exactly what was sent over and exactly what the Mishalech had in mind. I'm just going to do whatever he says. Does he mean to trust the Shliach? Or is he not taking chances and really trusting the Mishalech? That's an interesting question, which we tried to clarify from our sugya, but ultimately we did not have a conclusion on that. Okay, let's go on to the next Gemara. Tan Rabbanan. So we had this question a while ago regarding the lashon hoilech. Hoilech, bring this over to this and this person. Hoilech kizechi. Does he mean to say be zoiche for that person? As soon as you get it, it's his. Or hoilech lav kizechi dami. Hoilech means deliver it to that person. Until it gets to that person, it's not his. That's the question that we're going to be dealing with in the next Gemara. Tana Rabbanan hiskabeli giti. The Isha asks the shliach to serve as a shliach l'Kabbalah. V'ishtecha amra hiskabeli giti. And this time the shliach is true to the shlichus, and he says it as it is. I'm a shliach l'Kabbalah. Aymer, and the husband responds, Hoilech v'teila. Here, take it, give it to her. Or he says zechila, v'hiskabbalah. It's a done deal. As soon as the shliach gets it, rotza lachser leyachser. Husband cannot change his mind, because hoilech is tantamount to zechi. Acquire it for her. As soon as you get it, it's hers. Rav Nosson Aymer, he disagrees. Hoilech is not like zechi. Hoilech v'teila. Husband responds that way. It's not a done deal. Rotza lachser yachser. Husband decides to change his mind before the get is actually delivered into her hands. He can be chayzer because he did not authorize this fellow to receive it on her behalf. Rather, deliver it to her. Until it's delivered, it's mine. But if he said zechila, that's a different story. V'yiskabala, in that case, rotza lachser leyachser. As soon as the shliach gets it, it's over. Rabbi Yehuda bekulan imrotza lachser leyachser. In all these cases, even hoilech, we treat it as zechi. He can't change his mind once the shliach gets it. Avalim amalei. But if the husband was careful and modified the mission, he says, "Look, I know you're coming as a representative of my wife, as a shliach l'Kabbalah. I'm not interested. I want to have some more time to think about it. I don't want you to receive it on our behalf, but rather take it and bring it to her. In this case, it's shliach l'Kabbalah. If he chooses to change his mind, yachzer, he can change his mind. Well, Rabbi Yehuda Tanakama, isn't Rabbi Yehuda Tanakama the same shita? They're both saying the same thing, that hoilech is like schi. One teretz is, and Rabbi is just trying to add this new twist. Typically, hoilech is like schi, unless he actually articulates otherwise. Another teretz, the point here is, man Tanakama Rebbe, that in fact Rebbe is the anonymous shita in the beginning of the Brisa, which holds hoilech kezechi. Here comes a question. So Tanakama holds hoilech and schi is the same. Rabbi Nosson disagrees. What if he says helach? Here, take it to her. Hoilech means deliver it to her. Helach means, here, take it for her. Little Rabbi Nosson, according to Rabbi Nosson, kizechi dami, oilav kizechi dami. Is helach better than hoilech? Hoilech is not kizechi. What about helach? Maybe it's more like zechi. Take it for her. Or is it not? Tashma, we're going to have a rai. Ha'imar iskabel gets a lishti. Our Mishnah. Husband asks the shliach, be makabel the get from my wife. Or hilach gets elishti. In both cases, rotza lachsor yachsor. He can change his mind because it's not over until it's over. Ha'isha she'amar hiskabel legiti. But if the isha appointed a shliach lekabbalah, once the shliach gets it, rotza lachsor leyachsor, it's too late to change his mind. Says the Gemara, my love behilach. So perhaps we can modify the wording in the Mishnah. Husband asked the shliach, "Heilach get elishti." V'Rab Nasan, and we're going to, according to Shitas Rab Nasan, and the Mishnah is highlighting the difference between heilach and heilach, because here she asked for a shliach lekabbalah, and husband's response was heilach. I'm acknowledging that. I'm allowing the shliach to accept it on your behalf, and we say it works. My love beheilach, Rabbi Nasan. No, says the Gemara, loy beheilach. Let's stick to heilach the way we have it spelled in our Mishnah. So in response to her shliach lekabbalah request, he said heilach. For Rabbi, and we're going with Shitas Rabbi, that heilach and schi are equal to each other. In which case, as soon as he takes possession of the get, it's hers. Bottom line is we have no raya. How Rabbi Nasan would deal with the word heilach. Toshma, another attempt at a raya. So going back to the Mishnah, lefichach im amar lehabal. So since we just concluded that the husband can no longer backtrack once he gives the get to the shliach lekabbalah, we do have a way for him to protect himself. If the husband turns to the shliach lekabbalah, I'm not interested that you serve as a shliach lekabbalah. Rather, you serve as my shliach. Deliver the get to the isha. Be a shliach l'hoylach. In this case, rotza lachsor yachsor, he can always change his mind until the last moment. That's the mission. Tama de amar yafshi. How come we consider him a shliach l'hoylacha? Because the husband specified. He clearly expressed his unwillingness to go along with the shliach lekabbalah. I'm not interested in that. I want you to be my shliach l'hoylacha. But if you wouldn't have expressed it so sharply, rotza lachsor leyachsor. So, if the husband would have just gone along with it, here, hoylech v'tein, here, take shliach lekabbalah, take it for her. And rotza leyachsor, he cannot change his mind once the shliach takes the get. My love beheilach for Rabbi Nasan. Let's suggest perhaps that he said heilach. That's the gears of the Mishnah. Rabbi Nasan. And the point of the Mishnah is that even Rabbi Nasan would agree by heilach, that we treat it like zechi, as opposed to heilach, which is not like zechi. So again, the Mishnah says, if in response to the shliach lekabbalah, husband says, no, Yevshi, I'm not interested in that. I want you to be my shliach l'hoylacha. Then we treat it as such. But if he doesn't actually express that Yevshi, that unwillingness, then simply saying heilach v'tein is an acknowledgement, is cooperation with the shliach lekabbalah. Only heilach, but not heilach. Says the Gemara, and b'heilach, actually, the correct version of the Mishnah is heilach, and certainly heilach, according to Rabbi, is like zechi. Loi b'heilach v'Rabbi, we're going like Rabbi Shita, that even heilach has a din like zechi. Tashma, another attempt at a raya. Heilach gets the ishti, rotza lachsor yachsor. He says heilach, shliach l'hoylacha. Heilach gets the ishti, rotza lachsor leyachsor. As soon as the shliach gets it, it's over. We see a distinction between heilach, which is not like zechi, and heilach, which is like zechi. Man shamas le da'amar b'heilach rotza lachsor yachsor. Who's of the opinion that when you say heilach, it's not done, it's not confirmed, it's not concluded, it's still up to you to change your mind because it's not zechi? Rabbi Nasan, that's Shitas Rabbi Nasan, right? And what does the Brisa add? The Brisa clearly says the heilach is different. Heilach rotza lachsor leyachsor. If he hands over the get and uses lashon heilach, he can't change his mind. Shma mina, it's a clear right that heilach kezechidami. Shma mina, that even Rabbi Nassan agrees that Halach is like Zechi. So bottom line, Zechi is certainly like Zechi. What about Halach? Rabbi says yes, Rabbi Nassan says no. What about Halach? All agree it is Zechi. Itmar, here comes another question. Hiskabeli Gitti. V'ishtacha Amr Hiskabeli Gitti. So far so good. The Isha asked him to be a Shliach l'Kabbalah, and he pursued that route. He approaches the husband, I'm a Shliach l'Kabbalah. V'hu Oymeir Hoylech v'tein la. Husband's response, okay, sure, Hoylech v'tein la. So how do we treat Hoylech? Is Hoylech an acknowledgement, receive it on her behalf, or does it mean deliver it to her? As a Shliach l'Ilacha. So we had Rabbi Shita, we had Rabbi Nassan, now we're going to have Rav's Shita. And Rav is unsure how to treat this. Amar Rab Abba, Amar Rav, Hun Amar Rav. Well, it's confusing. Nasa, this individual, this messenger, is going to be wearing two hats. Nasa Shluchai, we treat him to a certain extent like the husband's Shliach, Shliach Lahilacha, who needs to actually deliver it to the wife. Ushlucha, we treat him as her Shliach L'Kabbalah. In which case, as soon as he gets it, it's hers. We're not sure how to deal with this. And therefore, if the husband dies without leaving any children behind, typically that activates the Yibum process, but in this case, we can't do Yibum. The Chaylet says she gets Chalitza. Remember the Masapkele Rav. You mean to say that Rav was unsure how to treat Hoylech. Is it like Schi or not? Well, Itma, we have learned earlier in the Masechta, Hoylech manu lepleni shani chayav loi. So Reuven borrowed money from Shimon, and Reuven turns to a shliach and says, you know what? Take this money and bring it to my creditor, to Shimon. And this was without Shimon's knowledge or consent. So he's appointing a shliach to deliver the money to his Baal Chayv. Amar Rav, what is the halacha? What is the status of that money? Chayv achar yusay. So the borrower, who appointed the shliach, is fully responsible for the safety of this money, because Shimon never asked him to send the money with this person. So if anything happens, he's responsible. But it's already out of his hands. If Reuven decides to change his mind, I want the money back, too late. Why? Because he appointed a shliach who was zeiche in that money for the Baal Chayv. Because remember, he said, Hoylech manu lepleni, take it for him. Receive it on his behalf. Apparently, according to Rav, Hoylech is like Zechi. So how come by get, he's not sure how to deal with it? Big difference, says the Gemara Hassam, when it comes to monetary issues. Suffolk money lakula. When there's a suffix regarding money, we take a lenient route, which means to say, if a person claims, if a person wants to extract money, he has to prove his case. Olav haraya. Likewise, in this case, although we're not sure how to deal with the money, can the levy ask it back or not? We leave it as is, and he doesn't have a right to take it back. As opposed to the case of the shliach haget, we're dealing with Isser. Husband passed away. Was she really his wife, or was she divorced? Does she need yibum or not? So we do chalitza l'chumra. Amar Rav, here comes a new sugi. Once again, halacha in the name of Rav. Eina isha oisa shliach l'kabbalah gita miyat shliach balo. Interesting halacha. The isha may not appoint a shliach l'kabbalah to accept the get from her husband's shliach l'ilacha. You can't do shliach to shliach transfer. Rabbi Chanina Amar, sure she could. Isha oisa shliach l'kabbalah gita miyat shliach balo. A woman may do a shliach, may make a shliach to accept it from her husband's shliach. My time at the Rav. Why is Rav not allowing it? We have two possible explanations. Iboy is saying one teretz, Mishum bezoin the Baal. It's degrading to the husband. Look, you're not going to accept it from directly from my shliach. You're appointing another shliach to accept it from my shliach. It's an embarrassment. Now Rashi explains that this is in contrast to your standard, case of shliach l'kabbalah where the husband is aware. One day, shliach l'kabbalah knocks on his door. I'm here for the wife, and he gives it to get to the shliach on her behalf. Okay, he's going along with it. And apparently, he's not too particular about his prestige at that point. But in this case, he doesn't know. He sent a shliach with his get. Instead of delivering it directly to the isha is playing hard to get. She's sending somebody to represent her. It's an affront to the husband. Perhaps he's not interested in that type of behavior. Another pshat, why this shouldn't be done. Mishum chatzera haba la'achar mikan. There's a gzeira. This might lead to confusion and pitfalls. So, for instance, if a husband takes a get meant for his wife and puts it into a chatzar, puts it onto a piece of property belonging to his friend. So the Baal is Ruvain, puts the get into Shimon, his neighbor's property. And then Shimon gives the whole property to the Isha, with the get onto it, with the get included. Does it work? No. Because Vinasam B'yada means husband must give directly to wife. When husband put the get onto that property, it didn't belong to his wife. It was a stranger's property. Now this is like shliach to shliach. It looks like he put it into the chatzar as a shliach, his shliach, and then she goes and acquires the chatzar. Chatzar is like her shliach. So it's as though it's being transferred from his shliach to her shliach. And the Gemara says if we'll allow, in our Gemara, if we allow her to appoint a shliach, a real person shliach, to accept it from his shliach, if we allow that to work, people might mix it up with the case of the chatzar, which certainly doesn't work. So that's why we don't allow it in our case as well. What's the difference between both concerns? Is it a prestige concern or is it a mohalachic concern? Any difference? Meaning, give me a case where one applies and not the other. Now the difference would be the kadma ihi v'shav yishliach mi'ikara. Suppose first she appointed the shliach l'kabbalah to accept the get, and then husband appointed his shliach la'ilacha, who will deliver it to her shliach l'kabbalah. So now let's think. If the concern was bizayan, it applies here as well, because she refuses to take the get directly. But the other concern wouldn't apply. Chatzer haba la'achar mikan is a very specific case, where husband placed the get into his neighbor's yard. So he sort of appointed the shliach first, and then she came and purchased the yard, which now turns into her representative, so to speak. So it's specifically in this order, as opposed to our situation where she appointed this man to be her shliach, and only then afterwards did the husband appoint his shliach. It's dissimilar to that case of chatzar, and therefore wouldn't lend to confusion and wouldn't be a concern. So bottom line, shliach to shliach transfer, Rav says no good, Rav Chanina says yes good. What are Rav's concerns? Two possible concerns. And we have an afkamina between both of them. How Gavra does this husband, the Shadala Gita Lidvisu? He sent a get to his wife. Azal Shlicha. So the messenger arrives. Ashkechach ki yasva. V'kalaisha. He finds the Isha sitting and kneading dough. And it wasn't, practical for her to actually accept the get. Amrullah, he tells her, hey, Lakitach, here, I have a get for you. Amrullah, she says, okay, no problem. Have a biyadcha. Hold it in your hands. Be my shliach lekabbalah. Interesting. Until now, he was shliach leilacha. She's reclassifying him, relabeling him. Now you represent me. You accept it for me, from yourself. Amar Rav Nachman, im isa l'Rabbi Chanina. Says Rav Nachman, if I would know that we can actually rule, we can paskin like Rabbi Chanina, the shliach to shliach transfer is acceptable. Avdi ba'uvda, here as well, I would allow it to go through, because it's the same exact situation. It's like a shliach to shliach. It so happens to be it's the same person serving both roles, but ultimately it's shliach to shliach transfer. Amalei Rabbi, so Rabbi responded with a distinction. Really? If we pass on Rabbi Chanina, you would okay it in this case as well? We have another concern. A valid shliach needs to have the ability to go back and report to his mishaleach, who gave him the job. That's just the way a shliach works. That's the format of a shliach. I'm sending you to do a job. The Rechez requires or at least there should be a potential for you to come back and report to me, done or not done. As opposed to this case, where no such option of returning back and reporting exists, because this shliach of the husband has now assumed a new role. He's switched. He's now serving in the capacity of the shliach l'kabal of the isha. He's not ready to go back to the husband and say, look, I'm your shliach l'halacha, I did my job. The shliach l'halacha is non-existent going forward. It expired. Therefore, it's not a valid shlichus. You can't put this through. Okay, so shalchu l'kamei Rabbi Ami. So they sent a question to Rabbi Ami. Is it so? Shalchu, he responded in kind. Yep, it's a problem. This case it doesn't work. Rabbi Yehuda bar Abba Omar, but Rabbi Yehuda bar Abba responded differently. Give me some time to work it out. Hadur shalchol kamei, Rabbi Yehuda bar Abba. A couple of days later, they asked him the question again. What's with that case with the with the shliach there? Omar. So he responded, "What's your rush? Kalhani shalchol ugly, sending it to me again and again. Give me some time. Just like they are unsure in this halacha, done here as well. We're not sure, and therefore he says, look, we have to be stringent. We're talking about a question of an eshes ish and a get. And in fact, if the husband dies, she will have to undergo chalitza. Of course, if there are no children, there's a brother around, because perhaps it's not a get, so she has to do chalitza. Hava uvda. In fact, it was an actual story, as such, another story. V'atzrucha Rabbi Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Mar to get v'chalitza. And Rabbi Yitzchak necessitated another get and chalitza. Why both? Either you get divorced again, or tarti. Why both? Get mechayim, v'chalitza lachar misa. That's what he means. He means that we have to redo the get if he's still alive. If he passes away, and there are no kids, and there's a yibum circumstance, then we do chalitza, just in case she was not really divorced. There was an isha with this name Napasa. Ozal Sahadi. So the Edom got confused with the spelling, and what did they write in the get? Kasav Tifasa. So the Edom who were tasked with writing the get misspelled her name. Question is, can they rewrite the get? Or do we say it was a one-time authorization? He authorized them one time. Hit or miss. So even though they messed up the get, they can't rewrite it. Omar Bitzak bar Shmuel bar Matam Shmei Rav, it's over. Asu Edom Shlichusan, they've accomplished their mission. They have written the get, and they can't redo it unless they go and get the authority from the husband again. Maskefla Rabba. Rabba had a hard time with this halach. Mika Amar Lahu. Did the husband ask him to write a worthless piece of nothing? Kesuva Chaspa, write a piece of pottery, basically a worthless document, Bahaval, and give it to her? Write a good get until they actually successfully write a proper valid get. They can just go at it until they do it. Elama Rabba. Rabba disagrees. Vadai Ikosav Sadi Gittem Aliyah Va'avad. So this previous case, of course, they redo it until they get it right. But I do agree that if the Edom wrote a proper get, Gittem Aliyah Va'avad, and then it went missing, that's a different story. Also, Edom Shlichusan. It's a one-time authorization. They were authorized to do it once. They did it once, right? So even if it got lost, they can't redo it until they go back and double check with the husband again. Maskefla Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman came and disagreed on this. Mika Amalu Ksuvu Vanchu B'Kisaychu. Did the husband then tell them to write a get and just put it in their pockets? No, he meant to say, write it until it's given. Elam Rav Nachman, they can write and rewrite until even 100 times, until it's actually given over to the Isha properly. But Rabbi asked Rav Nachman as follows. Husband asked the Edom to please write him a get. Don't bother delivering it. I have somebody else for that. Give it to the shliach. Mahu. What happens if it's lost on the way? So they wrote it properly, they handed it to the shliach, but it never arrived. It got lost. Can they rewrite or not? Shall we say sluki salaklu? Perhaps by indicating that they're just meant to write and hand it to the shliach. Delivery is the other person's responsibility. By doing so, he disengaged them from the process. Your task is specific. Just write. So once they've done that task, they've completed their mission, they're out of it. Or you can say, no. He didn't mean to disengage them. He was just concerned about burdening them. And therefore suggested that they give it to the other shliach. But of course, they're still players until it's successful. Even if we shall say that in the previous case, they're done. Mission accomplished. They have no right to rewrite the get now. But what if he asked them, Kisvu utnu l'shliach, but he added two more words, v'yoylechla, and have him deliver it to the Isha. So he's sort of, asking them to oversee the process. Ensure a successful divorce. Mahu, what would you say in this case? If it got lost on the way, can they go rewrite the get? Are they still involved? Take it, we leave it unresolved. When the Isha tells a shliach, toilely, right? Take it on my behalf. That is an expression of a shliach lekabbalah. Afa imeres toiley giti imrotza lachser layachser. Once husband transfers it to the shliach lekabbalah, it's over. Tana rabbanan. We have three more expressions of shliach lekabbalah. The Isha says toilely, take it on my behalf. V'soli, v'yeheli biyadcha. Hold it for me on my behalf. All these are lashon kula and lashon kabbalah hein. We treat it as a shliach lekabbalah. Okay, so briefly, what did we learn today? We discussed a shliach who misrepresented himself in a case where he's trying to alleviate the burden, make it easier for himself. He's in effect rejecting the mission. It doesn't work at all. The Gemara does tell us that in several cases we make it work, even if the lashon is inaccurate, such as when the husband asks him, Hiskabali giti. Really he means, take it for her, deliver it to her. Or in a case where Tana appointed a shliach and the husband went along with that, he really meant, look, just make it work. And therefore it's a shliach l'haylacha. Lashon haylech. Rebbe says, Kischidami. Rebbe Nosson disagrees. And Haylach all agrees Kischidami. Rav wasn't sure. By Mammon, we said Amaitzel Mechavel Varaya, but by Get, he went L'chumra. Can we do a shliach to shliach transfer? From shliach le'lacha to shliach le'kabbalah? Rav says no. Rav Chanina says yes. We had a case where it was the same person, one and the same person, who switched roles. There's a new issue of chazr shlichus etzel abal, and the Gemara went l'chumra on that as well. And we had a whole discussion regarding, the parameters of the shlichus. How far does their authority extend? How many times can they write the get? The Gemara figured if they misspelled, it's a one-time thing. The Gemara says no. Of course, Rabbi says no. Of course, they have a right to to rewrite it until they get it right. And Rav Nachman holds that even if it was written and handed over to the shliach and it got lost on en route, they can still rewrite it. We had a shaila regarding a case where he appointed a separate shliach for delivery, and then it got lost en route. Can they still rewrite it? We weren't sure about that, and then we said even if in that case they're out of it, but if he said v'yoylechlo, here, take it, write it, give it to that person to deliver to her, perhaps that's better because their role is all-encompassing, and we left it as a teku, and we ended with the l'shainis of Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, Toili, Soli, and Yehili B'yotcha, all are considered l'shain of Kabbalah. All the best to you and Hatzlacha Rabbah.